Hello, I'm Julia Johnson, and on this NoviChi Spotlight Protocol, we're going to be talking about the lungs. There's two of them, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the emotions that work around in conjunction with the lung protocol. So, the elemental energy is metal, okay? And metal is about the harvester. It's about being able to enjoy the harvest after your work. It's about being able to be in the fall time of the year. It's about being able to look at your life and say, it's all grand and it's what I intended and I have lived well. But what if you haven't? Or what if something's happened in your life that's caused you great grief? Well, the grief is the energy that disrupts the lungs. And so it's really important that you're able to support your lungs, especially in times of grief and unfulfilled expectations and loss and all of those things that every single one of us get to experience here. I've had my share of grief, and for those of you who know me, you know that. I can speak to grief, and I can tell you that I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for these protocols and also my faith in my Father in heaven and the help that I receive on that level. I have, of course, had some horrendous grief experiences, which has taught me that this is not the end, that this life goes on, and that the heavens are not that far away. And that has given me super great relief and comfort. And as many of you know, I have lost two children, actually three. One died at birth. So of my four, I have one left, and she's adjusting right now to being an only child. And it's hard. And it's hard on all of us. And we know what loss is. But on a physical level, our lungs need to be supported. So breathing is the first thing that we do when we arrive here on this planet. And it's the last thing that we do when we take our last breath. So, and in all of that time in between, we enjoy breath in every moment. And it's really important to be able to cleanse our body with breath and to be able to have the ability to get in touch with our breathing and the rhythms and the cycle of our breath. And all of that is a big deal. And it's all part of our life. So I want to talk to you about the protocol itself. On page 1, it's the lung alignment, okay? And this is connected to the dermatome of thoracic 3. And so again, oftentimes if our thoracic 3 is out of alignment, our lungs will be as well. So this gives us an opportunity to use the frequency of thoracic 3 to align our spine and to allow our lungs to nest in their optimal position so that we can get in our air, so that we can breathe deeply, so that we can take that big inhale and also that big exhale. Asthma is about not being able to inhale, and emphysema is about not being able to exhale, not being able to let go of our breath. And both are equally as important. And so alignment is super important in the rhythm of our breath. On the next page, on page 2, again, it is about, it's about breaking up the toxins that might be in our lungs. And as you know, we don't live in clean air. Most of us don't. And so there are a lot of toxins that we take in through our lungs. And we breathe fumes from exhaust, and we breathe dirty air, and all of that needs to be broken up, and all the heavy metals, all of it from that, and released out of our body through this protocol. On page 3, we want to again release the lungs of the inflammation. And I just want you to know that your throat is also connected to the lung protocol. And so oftentimes when we use this frequency, we'll be working not just on our lungs, but also on our throat. And our 5th chakra is the governing chakra for our lungs. It's also our expression, right? It's also our chakra that governs our expression and our ability to speak and to express ourselves. And so when that gets stuck, we can have lung issues. We can also have throat issues. And so this is a protocol to help with that. After we detox, we go to the reflexology point and we activate the function of our lungs through the nervous system and the nerve endings of the reflexology point. Page 6, we're going to do a heart meridian resonance because the heart actually controls the lungs. And the lungs govern the immune system. Isn't that interesting? So if we don't have enough fire, then we won't have enough metal, and we won't have enough ability to have a really healthy immune system. So you start to see how all of these organs work together in harmony and how they all do this dance we call life. On the next page, on 7, we're going to do the spleen meridian resonance repattern, which is about the nurturing cycle. So our spleen nurtures our lung. And then we have on page 8, we have our chakra balancing, our chakra support, frequency, chakra 5. And this again governs so much of all of it put together. It's such a support when it comes to our lungs, our throat, our ability to speak, our grief processing. And on page 9, we have our lung integration, which is our lung 1 alarm point. And this is telling our body to please hold this protocol. Please integrate it and please hold it. Because, you know, the longer it holds, the healthier we get. And oftentimes that's a way of measuring is how long is your protocol holding, and that will tell you when it's time to have the next protocol, especially if you have chronic lung issues. And then on page 10, we have the neural balance. If there's any pain, you can use this on your lungs to reduce the pain that you're experiencing in your lungs. And that is the lung protocol. And I hope that you are enlightened about the lungs now, and you understand why you may have lung issues or why you may not. You may have dealt with your grief. You may have forgiven yourself and forgiven life for sometimes the unfulfilled expectations that we get to deal with. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Again, this is Julia Johnson.